If you're new to this podcast, my name is Alicia and I'm a mindset coach with a master's in behavior science. I'm here to help you with evidence-based strategies that actually give you action-based results for the things that you want in your life. So if you're looking to manifest things, have your dream relationship, have your dream finances, or anything in between, this is the podcast for you. Now, without any further ado, let's get into it. The first question I have from you guys is, how can people identify limiting beliefs that are holding them back? So the main thing I would like to say about limiting beliefs that typically hold us back are that they're subconscious. These are things that we don't actually think about in our lives. So it's very important to really sit down and think about, okay, how was I raised? What kind of beliefs did my parents have? What kind of beliefs do the people around me have and carry? These are the beliefs that you likely carry in your life and you are likely raised to have in your life. So a belief that's very common in life is, money doesn't grow on trees, or it's hard to make money. If you have a belief like this that likely was passed on from your parents, then you will know that you may not have the best relationship with money. You may think money is difficult to come across. You may think it's harder to find. You may struggle with money. So this is all because of this limiting belief. And the way to actually identify these limiting beliefs is to get really clear on them and write them all out as much as you can. So I want you to really take a moment, take a pencil and paper, and write out every single belief that you may have across love, across money, across any situation that you are struggling with in your life. And I promise you, once you do this, you are going to be able to identify your limiting beliefs and shift through the mindset that you need to in order to become your best self. The next question is, what is the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset? The biggest difference between a growth and a fixed mindset is the mentality that you have towards this. So if you have goals in life, if you have dreams, and if you're working towards things that you really want to aspire to be and aspire to have, that is a growth mindset. But if you're really just succumb to the life that you have, you're not really happy with where you're at, maybe you have a 9-to-5 you're not happy with, but you're not doing anything to change it or anything about it, that is definitely a fixed mindset. But this can be in different areas of your life. So you can have a growth mindset in terms of going to the gym. You can go to the gym 10 times a week or 7 times a week, and you can really hone in on your growth for your body. But then you could have a fixed mindset in terms of your actual work with your work in general, or in terms of your career. So you can have a growth mindset in certain areas or a fixed in certain areas. But it's really up to you to hone in on these and really take inventory of what you're thinking and how you feel in different areas of your life. The next question is a really exciting one that I got from you guys. And this is, what is a common mindset block that you've even had to work through yourself? And for myself, a common mindset block, a lot like a lot of you guys, is the mindset that perhaps I'm not worthy enough of success or not worthy enough of a relationship that has like a loving partner for me. So these are things that we really have to work through, and it's okay to have. It's not a bad thing to have a limiting belief, and it's not a bad thing to have a mindset block or something that you don't want to be identifying with. But the only negative that this would be is that knowing that you have this and not doing anything about it or not doing anything to change this. So like I mentioned before, I really, really recommend that you hone in on these belief systems, write them all out, look at what you don't want in your life, and then reframe them. So change them up into becoming the beliefs that you want them to be. So if your belief is, I'm not worthy of a relationship, I want you to change that affirmation to, I deserve the best relationship possible, or I am worthy of the best relationship, or I have the best partner in the world. And those are things that you really want to hone in on, those affirmations. Repeat them in your life as much as you can. Repeat them in the mornings, at night. Repeat them, put them all over your walls, plaster them everywhere. It doesn't matter, but just make sure they are on repeat in order to rewire those neural pathways for you. Next question is, what can I actually do to change my belief systems in general, other than affirmations, other than identifying my limiting beliefs? What else can I do to speed up this process? And I got you guys, this is a very, very exciting question for me because I have so many answers, but I'm just going to start off with a few of them here. The main thing I would recommend for you guys, as you've probably already heard of me talk about, are overnight affirmations. And these are affirmations that you play while you're asleep, right? So when your brain is in a theta state while you're asleep, you actually hear these affirmations and they actually get absorbed into your subconscious mind at a much more easy and faster rate as opposed to when you're awake, because your brain is not turning away these affirmations, is not turning them away and saying that other affirmations are not real or your current mindset is real. It's really actually absorbing these mindsets and really taking them in for who they are and what they are. Another thing I would recommend is literally plastering affirmations all over your house. Like if you look around my house, there's affirmations everywhere, all over my kitchen, all over my bathroom, my living room, my bedroom. They are just everywhere. And that is because I really want to have a solid, safe space whenever I'm at home. Plus, whenever you have these affirmations along your house, you have no choice but to absorb them and take them in for what they are and to actually absorb them into your reality. Because what you are the most exposed to in life is what actually ends up happening for you. So if you're most exposed to people that are negative or have negative beliefs or hate their jobs, then you're going to probably end up being a person that hates their job. But if you're exposed to high quality entrepreneurs or good people that you really love to be around, or people that are in a really good mindset, then that's what you're going to end up doing. So that's why the power of repetition and the power of your environment is so crucial in order to be the happiest and have the best belief system and the best life that you could possibly have. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for listening in on this first podcast episode and for sending in these amazing questions. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to think about it. Let me know. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and also on YouTube, which is at Growth for Girlies. And please go ahead and rate this podcast if you really enjoyed it and if you had a good time listening to it and got any value from it. And without further ado, that's what I got for you. This is Growth for Girlies, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.